I sent a fact out into the world that I had heard, and I wanted to ask you. It said, if you haven't bungee jumped by the age of 30, you will never bungee jump.
That's interesting.
What do you think about this? Is this true for you, do you think?
Absolutely. I think when I turned 30, maybe it was also in conjunction with having kids, but I became a very paranoid human. I'm a little bit scared of everything, even flying. So I don't know. Going down a hill on the roll of cheese, is that right?
No.
You go on the roll of cheese? No, you try and get to them.
How big do you think the roll of cheese is, Shana?
I don't know. In Europe, you guys have really big cheese.
No, it's probably about the size of an American football. Let's give you something that you might understand. In a wheel form, not a rugby ball kind of shape. But yeah, so it's that kind of size. So they're not, it's not like a hamster in a ball or anything like
that. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. To 30, I don't know. 30, I'm not doing much anymore. What about you? Do you feel like after now you could start bungee jumping? Maybe you've bungee jumped before. I don't think I've asked you that.
I have bungee jumped before. I did it in tandem with a girl that I was dating at the time. We did it in Africa, we did it in Uganda, and our heads were dunked into the River Nile, which is pretty cool. But
that's an experience.
Yeah, it was an experience. But apparently the recording of the bungee jump, the people were listening to it, and they were like, God, Laura, you were screaming your head off, the girl that I was seeing. She was like, I literally didn't say a thing. Turns out I was very high-pitched in my... dramatic, sort of scared kind of feel towards it. But yeah, so I was...
Yeah, that video would be a good thing to post on your YouTube channel.
It would be, yes. Yes, that's true. Actually, I got like 5 minutes of before the jump and 5 minutes of after the jump from the person that was recording it. So he had clearly clicked record way before and then stopped and then started at the wrong time completely. So,
oh no.
Yeah, so I didn't get the video that I wanted for that. And I wasn't going to do it again because I was screaming my head off.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So not doing it again.
No, I'm not going to do it again. And yeah, even like skiing, I'm less keen to do that now because I had an injury last year or the year before. And now I'm a bit like, no, I just want a healthy body.
Yeah. We don't get back to our usual state as fast
anymore. No, definitely not. But yeah, let's see about the Boston Tea Party. Let's see if it was all, I don't know, young, rebellious people that were getting involved in this. I don't know if it's a terrible segue, but let's go with it at least. So yeah, let's get into the Boston Tea Party. So where do we need to start in order to understand this as if we've never heard about this party before?
Yeah. So before we discuss the Boston Tea Party itself, it's important to understand the context. So in the 18th century, the American colonies were under British rule. If I'm not mistaken, it was King George III. Is that right?
Okay.
Do you remember?
I mean, I think you know more than me, so I will.
King George III.
I will go with that.
All right. And so the British Parliament imposed several taxes on the colonies. All right. So the colonies were in what was not quite the United States. And so many of those colonists found those taxes imposed by the British Parliament unjust because they had no representation in Parliament. This principle of having no representation was famously summarized by the slogan, "No taxation without representation." That's what everyone yelled. It was put on posters everywhere. It was a common phrase, no taxation without representation. So, Charlie, would you make a fuss about these taxes?
Would I complain, or would I just go along with the idea of British people taking money off me if I'm in the colonies?
Exactly.
I'm not very political as a person, as a day-to-day individual. I think I just keep myself to myself. I've got some people, some friends that are quite outspoken, not outspoken. You need to speak your mind. It's good to, but I tend to not really gel with that. I don't know. I feel, I don't know if what I feel, but I think I feel like I shouldn't be complaining. I think that's it. Yeah.
Do you think, I've thought about this a lot because of my upbringing. My parents always said, do not discuss religion or politics ever at a dinner table. That was something in my household. It was to create good feelings no matter who you're with, no matter what culture the people are from. And I'm wondering, in your household, did you grow up having political conversations during dinner time? Because I feel like sometimes that's a preface for people feeling more comfortable with those sorts of things.
Yeah, right. Okay. No, we didn't particularly. But I've got to say, I'm actually quite comfortable talking about religion in front of people now. Obviously, it's like very close friends that we want to have an open debate about something deep. But I quite like that discovery kind of chat because it helps form our own opinions. Like we rarely get those chances, right? Obviously, if you have a very strong opinion about something, I'm not trying to change it. I'm just trying to understand somebody's opinion. But that's an interesting point. What about you? Do you think you would kick up a fuss? Would you be rebellious and sort of stick it to the man?
I think actually a lot of the stuff that happened in Boston at the time, like when I read about it and sort of the sentiment, this growing dislike towards Britain, the British Empire, excuse me, I can kind of relate a lot with the Americans, no offense. And so I think I probably...
Charlotte, I'm not the Empire.
You're not the Empire.